In broadcast. All right, let's do it. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Ta-da! I had something keyed up for this. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for showing up. Um, Cat Guy, Richard Seam, Miller Detailing, Keith Firebird, Hoof, Corey Mack, Rob L. Good to see all you guys and gals. I think Maria was here earlier. I'm sure she's still in the house. So what's going on, everybody? Did everybody have a good holiday? Everybody have a good Christmas if you celebrate it, or Hanukkah if you celebrate that. I think Hanukkah ended on Monday. And from watching the news this morning, I think that we're entering into the Kwanzaa period. I'm not really sure how that works. But anyway, welcome to the third episode of the Curmudgeon's Corner. Hoping to stay focused on some small business aspects for people that are trying to make it in the world today. And we all know it takes everything you got. So Titan Tim from Shine Your Light Detailing's in the house. Good to see you. Glad to hear Christmas was great. Miller Detailing. So what's going on, everybody? What are you guys up to these days? Everybody still working between Christmas and New Year's, or are we just taking it off? I know that I have a really good friend who basically takes the entire month of January off, just to recoup. He does a lot of detailing and he does a lot of high-end detailing. So he's usually pretty stressed out by the time January rolls around. Oh, happy birthday, Hoof! Glad to hear it. Happy birthday. I'm sure everybody in your circle, your tribe, probably has celebrated the crap out of it. That's great. Good. First from Puerto Rico, Humberto. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. All right. So, I'm not really good with the one-on-one by myself out here in the middle of Nowhereville. So probably without much further ado, I'm going to be bringing in my good friend Ryan. He is, I've been corrected. He is a co-owner of a small business, and we'll dive into that and talk about some of the pitfalls of being a small business owner and basically what it takes. Good. Glad to hear that, man. If I wish that I could get a day off. I don't know if you can tell, but my throat is I'm losing my voice, and I don't know why. But it feels like I've been at a concert for 2 days, and it just I can feel it starting to slip away from me. I'm not sick. I took a COVID test. I don't feel sick. It's just that I'm starting to lose my voice, and it's the one thing that I have that I'm sort of okay at is talking. Richard, good to see you. Glad you're in the house. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you in a little while. How about that? Anyway, without much, losing my voices. So, speaking of which, very dear friend of mine, for Christmas, I got. You probably can't see this. Hold on a second. Let me pour some more apple juice, and you can see it. Hold on, real quick. There we go. I got this really cool glass. It says apple juice, so that you know exactly what it is that I'm drinking. Apple juice. Da-da-da. It's good for you. An apple juice a day or 6 keeps the doctor away. Anyway, all right, let me bring in Ryan. Let's get this party started. What do you say? Hey, there he is.
6 apple juice a day.
Merry Christmas, Ryan. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you.
Thank you. It's an honor.
What's going on with you?
Oh, I apologize in advance if anybody hears my baby boy back there. This is usually his meltdown hour, but just after a nice long day, just sitting, relaxing, hanging out with you, getting ready to chat with you guys. I'll go back and forth so I can see Aaron and read the chats at the same time. I'm on my cell phone.
Nobody needs to see me. Nobody needs to see me. But all right, let's get it off the table right out of the gate. rumor has it that you live in California, and the other rumor of being in California is that it's not always super sunny and warm. I
No,
think the other day when I was talking to you, I actually saw your breath while you were talking, while you were, I think you were barbecuing, and still you could see your breath. So how cold is it out there where you're at?
it's been in the 30s in the morning, and then I don't know what it got up to today, but it was very cold all day. I think it got up to 50 something. But yeah, it's pretty common. People think everyone in California surfs to work.
I think 90210 and Baywatch ruined it for all of California.
Yeah, that happens.
All right, so Ryan, I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. Obviously, you're not known for the little detailing club that we've that the four horsemen have established. Most of the people in here, we're all family. Obviously, you're part of the family because I've seen you in many of the chat rooms. But um, currently, your claim to fame is that you are co-owner of a company called DM Tech. Is that accurate?
Correct. Yeah.
And that's in Corning, California.
Yep. About 35 minutes from my house, just a little bit north from here.
Well, not that I was snooping or anything, but more importantly, it's an hour and 45 minutes north of Papa Smurf. All right, not that I was, not that I was snooping about Papa Smurf or anything, but yeah, you're an hour and 45 minutes north of Papa Smurf.
Yeah, yeah. We
Um,
just drove by his stomping grounds just this past weekend, going down to visit my in-laws, my wife's parents.
oh, he'd have to have a restraining order on me if I did that. I'm gonna be like, hey man, I need some space. What exactly is DM Tech? What is DM Tech?
We're a wireless internet service provider. You've probably heard the term ISP, internet service provider. We're what's known in the industry as a WISP. So people that live kind of out in the country or don't have Xfinity or Charter, or I think those are the two main cable-based internet service provider. That's what we specialize in, getting internet to people that live off the beaten path.
Okay. So I don't have to be connected anywhere to tap into your service. Like I don't have to be in a civilized area. I could be one of those off the grid type people and still use your service. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we
Um,
have people that have just generators and just power on their stuff as needed. Yeah, we have customers like that.
wow.
You do need electricity, so I guess that's a
Okay.
why.
Well, that makes sense. Sure. Um, wow. So I guess you hear a lot of the smaller mobile companies, like Boost Mobile or Cricket
Mm,
and stuff like that, and they talk about how you can get the same service as these other people because we use the same towers as the big giants. Is how exactly does that work?
that's that's usually LTE or cell, like how you're able to use, or how I'm able to use my cell phone right now, how you're able to make cell phone calls. Where our stuff is a little bit different, but I guess kind of the same concept. But they generally have really limited data allowances or data caps, and I can't remember what the percentage is, but it's a crazy high percentage of people now that have some sort of streaming service, whatever it may be. So if you were to go that route, you would burn up your data allowance possibly the first day if you
Wow.
were to have a cell phone, like what do they call them? T-Mobile has one, but yeah, you have like a little device you plug in your house and it broadcasts. It just kind
Sure.
of amplifies your cell service. But it's
So
yeah,
can I ask you some more technical questions? I'm sure they're going to bore the crap out of everybody, but so
they're
this is my old Android, right? It's
okay.
my old Android. It no longer has service because I switched companies and everything. I think this was Comcast, and I now have Verizon, whatever. However, when I'm attached to the internet, like if I
Hmm.
go to Wi-Fi, I can use that phone and I can do all the services that I used to have on that phone, access the internet and all that other stuff with my phone. Is that pretty similar to what it is that your company does? Has that, like, we're
Uh,
able to jack into the World Wide Web from wherever, as long as we're able to hit one of your towers?
yeah, yeah, yeah. In
That's
essence, pretty much, as long as you're within X mileage of one of our towers that's broadcasting, and you have a decent clear line of sight, assuming you're not surrounded by engulfed by trees, because radio frequency can't. Well, the radio frequency that we use can't really pass through organic stuff like that,
okay.
trees, leaves, dirt.
Huh.
But yeah,
All
pretty
right.
much we put a, well, your cell phone just kind of pulls in signal from any and all directions. Even when you're on someone's home internet, it's just kind of pulling in signals. We put a directional dish on the roof, and it pulls signal straight in, aimed straight at the tower. But same concept. It just pulls in the internet, and then you can do whatever you want on your device.
Okay. So then let's talk about exactly. So you say that you're one of the co-owners. Um, what what exactly would you say that you do here? What is Ryan Hansen's job at DM Tech?
Love that movie, by the way. But we should
Right?
probably make Eric jealous really quick here.
Oh snap! What is that? What is that?
Sorry, Papa Smurf. This one's
Oh
canon.
boy, I you might be the only person in existence that has that. I'm not sure.
So there's five of us, and each individual has a pretty specific slice of the pie that makes DM Tech run as a whole. There is quite a bit of overlap. Like any one of us can answer the phones, schedule and install, help troubleshoot a customer's issues. There's quite a bit of overlap, but I'm primarily on the in the technicians building side, and I'm I am training a couple guys to do this as well. But I'm the one that climbs the towers. I actually deploy the physical radios, the physical antennas that either transmit internet from tower A to tower B, or that transmits internet from tower to customer or customers. So I'm the one that you see. Sometimes you'll be driving down the freeway, and you'll see a guy or guys up a cell phone tower tied off with a crazy Dr. Octavius harness strapped to the tower 10 different ways, working on those big radios. I do that.
That's you.
That's me.
That's you. So that's you.
That's me. Yes, that's me. With my brand new,
That's fantastic.
all my heated gear. It has been so cold, and we had to get that project done. The entire, like a third of our network basically relies on that link alone. So we had to get it done. And it was really cold, really challenging. I kept running into problems. A few of them I caused because I was trying to mount the equipment as low on the tower as possible, because the towers, in the heavy winds, they move just a little bit, and that signal is really sensitive to, it's basically aiming like something the size of a pen at a bullseye a mile and a half, so it has to stay
Wow.
not moving as much as possible. So I was
Pretty
trying to go
stable.
as
That's
low on the tower.
pretty stable. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I went too low, and I was hitting treetops, so I had to move it twice. And it's a pain, because when you're 50, 60 feet up in the uncomfortable elements, your hands are cold. I'm sure you've worked in the cold. Your hands, they cut easier. You seem to knock them on everything. Plus, it's like doing yoga on top of a ladder while trying to construct an IKEA piece of furniture, while not falling or dropping your tools, and then communicating with your guy or guys on the ground.
That's fascinating. Fascinating. We got a
But
couple
most
of
importantly,
questions,
not.
but We got a couple of questions, but the first one is, you look like a GI Joe Cobra villain. I just want you to know, like, seriously,
That's my Snake Eyes
you look
outfit
like
right there. Yeah.
the terrorist Firefly. Anyway,
That
so the
piece
first
makes.
question we have is from Corey Mack, and that was, "What's the highest tower you've ever climbed?" That was actually one of my questions, so I can take that off my list. What is the highest tower you've ever climbed?
Our highest tower is 120 feet, and I've been to the tippy top, where it's the very tippy top is at my chest to get every inch of height. Sometimes I'm trying to get
Oh,
even
I
two
want to
inches
throw
will
up
make
now.
a difference. Yeah,
I want to
120
throw up.
feet.
That's terrible. That's a
I don't
horrible
think I need
story.
to climb that tower anytime soon, but next time I do, I'll get a picture for you.
There's a guy that has to climb that highest tower in the universe. It's like in Dubai or something like that. He has to change the
Mm-hmm.
light bulb at the very top of it. He has to do it twice a year, and I think he gets paid like six figures to do it.
It's an
It's
insane
just
amount
there's
of
just
money
no
that
way.
I've seen
All
some
right,
that
we have
I.
another question from, I
Okay.
think, Papa Smurf. Let me see. Oh yeah, have you ever lost a tower? Like, what happens? Like, have you ever lost a tower? Do you own? Does DM Tech own the tower? Or are you like borrowing it from another big company?
Um, so at one time we did we did own all of them, and then I think or owned most of them. I don't want to misspeak, but it works out better if it's. God, you think I should know this. I think it works out better if it's considered the the customer's property that the tower is on, if it's considered theirs. And then
Okay.
we pay them, give them free internet, whatever they want. Basically, we don't try to lowball them or give them nothing. If they whatever they want, we appease them. But yeah, we have lost. Before I started there, very our first tower, where all of the internet originates from and goes out, um, that collapsed. So that was
Ooh,
detrimental for a bit until it came back up, because that sends signal to other towers, and kind of like, I don't know, like a sprinkler system or an air conditioning ducting system, how you have the trunk line and then it goes downstream and then you have the vents in the house, similar to that. So if the first tower is down, everything is down. But yeah, we had since I've worked there, not since we've been co-owners, but since I've worked there, yeah, we lost one tower in a little town called, I guess it's not a town, but like a little area of Corning called Alameda, and it just like fell right over this guy, the owner's house, just tipped right over. So that was a nightmare, but we got it fixed. We got it
wow.
fixed. At the time, it was just myself and one of the other co-owners, Sherilyn. So yeah, that was something. I'll have to tell you the whole story later. I don't want to
Sure.
speak ill of anybody that's passed away.
So Clifford wants to know if you have to climb all the towers. Do you have to climb every one of them, or can you be dropped in?
Um, I mean, I guess I could be dropped in, but I would like we can get man lifts and booms and save me the climb, but I'd rather climb and save our company the money so that we have more money at the end of the year. There's been a couple times where we rented a boom and we made the most of it, and I would use the boom on tower one and then finish the job, and the place that we rented it from, they took the boom to tower two. I went up, did a job, came down, and then they took the boom to tower three. Like, we did a marathon and had the boom all day and made the most of it. But yeah, I could, any way that I could get to the top. I've been skydiving before. I would come down into a tower for sure. But no, climb we climb them.
Okay.
I like where
Um,
your head's at though.
so I'm sure you've seen the movie Christmas Story, where the younger brother gets all dudded up in the snowsuit, and then right before he has to go out, he has to use the bathroom. Um, Humberto wants to know, what happens?
Oh, our the owners of the property where our towers are on, they're really cool. And I generally will go like behind a shed and I'll tell my ground guy I'm gonna go chase a lizard and go take care of, because I drink coffee all day, so my bladder is kicking all the time. But I've been up towers where I was tap dancing and I was needing to go, but I hold it. I suppose if I were alone and nobody were around, that seems like something that should be on my bucket list. But I hold it. I go before or I hold it until I
Right.
get down, because I have guys on the ground below me, and I don't think they would ever come with me again if I did what you're thinking I did.
So, focusing in on the small business aspect, how many employees does DM Tech have running?
There are 5 owners and currently three hourly employees. But we're probably nearing the point that we'll be needing one more on the technician side and probably one more in the. So on the technician side, there's no customers don't come in or out. It's just us. It's shelves and shelves of equipment and tools and gear. And then over in the office, that's where customers can come in, pay bills, ask questions, bring their router or whatever. So over on that side, I imagine they will probably be needing one more person sometime soon. But we have a relatively new woman over there, and she's amazing. She fits perfectly, and she's really great to work with, which it's hard to find both of those in one person. Sometimes you get a great employee, but they're not good at their role, or they're great at their role and you can't stand to be in the same room as them. But right now we have a great team. But so 5 owners and 3 hourly. Long story short.
Okay, so how does that? How exactly does that work? 5 owners, like what? Like from what you had told me earlier, that the company was previously owned by the abbreviations D and M.
Mm-hmm.
And then like so basically just trying to put all the pieces together. The 5 of you guys came up with the idea to buy into it or buy it outright, or how exactly did that
We
happen?
we were actually employed. We were the 5 of us were the only employees there, other than the 2 owners, and they're they're getting older in life, and they at the time they both had airplanes, I want to say, or one had an airplane and the other was getting an airplane, and they just wanted to not deal with the business anymore, because as you know, it's 24/7. It's all the time. When you're the owner, you can't let the boss take care of it. It's if it's what you do, what you're
Right.
responsible for, you got to do it. So they actually approached us and asked us, "Hey, do you all of our employees, would you guys like to take over and buy us out?" And of course, we talked about it and we said, "Yeah, yeah, of course."
That's awesome. That's great. So, again, small business related. What was the hard? What so far? What's been the hardest part about taking over and being the boss?
Me personally, or like everyone as a whole, the small
I
business.
think that's a legitimate question on both. And for you, what personally, what has been the biggest challenge, and then as a collective, what has been the biggest challenge?
I think probably as a collective, the others would agree. There's some aspects of it that I don't play a direct role in, like the taxes or paying the monthly bills of, what we have overhead, we have to pay insurance, workman's comp, everything else. I don't really play a hand in that. If we're going to start something or change something, all the owners get together and discuss, here's how it is, here's how we would like it to be because of this, here's how we do that, what do you guys think? And we all, cohesively get together and say yes or no or ask questions. But I think collectively, probably the just the learning curve of doing everything on your own. Because we have to file forms with FCC every year, and that's just a pain. I did them one time back when I was hourly, and it's just such, you can imagine dealing with
Sure.
the
So what you're saying
government.
is bureaucratic
Yes, yeah.
regulations. Okay,
Just
good, good.
anything and every paying, even paying taxes, we've changed. Yeah, just paying something as simple as you would think, just paying taxes. But the the two people that mainly handle the money, they've come. We have a great tax guy for one, but they come up with such great ways that we can save money and do write-offs and invest money before it gets taxed. They're just those two are great, but they're learning. If they knew today what they knew the day that we bought out, I'm sure they wish they knew back then what they know today. We probably have more money set aside, but as you go, you learn, you do something and you think, oh, that probably wasn't the best way, or someone tells you, no, you should do it like X, not Y. But yeah, that it's just a constant learning process, especially when it's not like the former owners did a great job for how big we were at the time, and that was their first business. But I don't want this to sound bad, but there was a lot that they didn't know or that they could have done better.
Sure.
So it's not like they trained us great to take over. It wasn't a seamless transfer like that. All the owners are constantly learning how to do what they do better. More so on the admin side. My sliver of responsibility is pretty narrow in comparison to them. But for me
Yeah,
personally,
but you're also climbing a 120-foot tower, so I mean, you get a
that
pass.
too.
You get a pass.
I think it's a
Yeah.
fair trade-off in that respect. I've
Uh, so
hiring guys, and I've had to fire guys, and that's a really crappy feeling to fire a grown man. It's
sure. Yeah, I got
terrible
into
feeling.
supervisory role for a hospital ambulance company. I think in 2010, and that's definitely for me. It was always the hardest part, especially if you're forming relationships with these people and things of that nature. But one of my best friends and co-supervisor, you know, his best advice that he ever gave me was you don't fire people, people fire themselves, and that made it a lot easier. But I mean, if you indulge me this one story, um, I probably even shouldn't even use his name. We'll just call him Bob, old man Bob.
Hear about
But
Bob.
every day he was one of the night guys. He was one of the night couriers, and we would always talk trash to each other through the window, through the dispatch window. Um, and he would always, he'd always end it with, come outside over on this side of the window, and I'll kick your ass. And that's how every night started that way. And anyway, he did some dumb stuff, and he ended up getting fired for it. And I was sitting in on that firing, and when it was all over, he stood up and he goes, "I guess I'm not going to be able to kick your ass tonight." And I was just like, oh, I mean, that was just it. It broke me. Oh, it was so terrible. I mean, he clearly did, like, he screwed up bad enough that it warranted being let go. But it still was a blow. It really was a blow. Um, so we had a couple of questions real fast. The first one that was from Clifford. Um, Clifford had said, it kind of goes the it's a twofold question, because the first question is, what is the best experience that you've had as a business owner? And then, of course, there's Clifford's question, which is the greatest learning experience from a small business aspect that you've had to experience and that you learn from. Like, oh, well, we'll never do that again, but we're better off for it. I mean, as the owner of Phoenix E.O.D, I could probably give you 6 of those. Whoops, let's never do that again, but we're better off for it. So,
Those are good. Yeah, those are really good. Those are good. Those are really good questions. Um, I think most rewarding. We're able to do a lot for the community that we're in. We bought the police station, the Corning PD. Their their police dog, which they if it weren't they wouldn't have had one unless had we not bought it. If we didn't buy it, they would not have one today. So just there's so many other things that we do, but giving back to the community, that's really cool. That's a really cool feeling to be able to do that, because we didn't really have the when you're hourly, you don't really have the say. So you can't even really, if I'm an hourly tech, I can't even install a person for free or do a service for free, because most likely the owner or the boss would say, hey, we charged for that. Why did you do that for free? So we have the ability to say, hey, we want to, on Veterans Day, we want to do all free installs for anybody who has served in the military or something like that, for example, which for a while there, we were giving free installs for like fire service, law enforcement, a few other things. I think we were doing teachers as well and hospital staff. We being able to have the say so to do that, to help people out that way. And then what was the second part to that question?
The greatest learning
Oh,
experience,
learning.
like the whoopsie, but we're better off for it. Like basically coming in second place with your soap and therefore having to go back and make a better soap that just destroys, everything and anything that's out there. Just saying, something like that.
That's a really good one. The best learning experience.
We can come back to it. I don't want to put you on the spot. We can come back to it. There's two questions here that kind of go hand in hand. The first one comes from Hoof. Are you just doing the California area, or will you go anywhere? And then the follow up to that is, so let's say a certain Smurf wants to join the Ryan net. How, LOL, how does one do that? So the question is, do what service do you, or like the service area do you provide? And then, um, you know, if Papa Smurf happens to fall, the 1 hour and 45 minutes drive from, say, your headquarters, does that fall into the service area?
We don't hit his area yet, but I do have an answer for that learning experience, only because for us personally, it generally has not worked out. Hiring friends or family, it's probably safer to not do that, even if you know them as being a stellar employee or good at whatever their role would be. And yeah, in my experience, I've seen it multiple times. It just doesn't really work out very well, and then you have the potential to kind of sour that friendship relationship.
Yeah,
that's a big learning experience for us, and that. Yeah, but to that, no, we don't go that far. We would love to expand, and that's probably kind of looking like the direction we need to go. As it sits right now, we kind of acquire towers that are farther away than all of our current towers, and we send signal to that tower, and then get all of the homes in that area to be on our service. And then kind of like the game of Risk, you just kind of slowly keep spreading out. But I do imagine and truly feel one day that we'll probably have to just open another office somewhere else. I don't know about Smurf's area though, because that's kind of I don't want to drop the city that he's in, but yeah, it's usually more country-ish. We could, it's possible to get an urban area like that, but it's really hard to compete service-wise with like Xfinity wired internet, but there's some people will want the craziest download speeds. Just they see a number and they think, I want that. And really, unless you're five dudes living in a house all gaming on your own whatever device, really, if you're a house of two adults and a kid, if you have 50 megs, you guys can all be watching Netflix, playing on your phone. You'll never see. I hear people say, I got 500 megs from whoever. You'll never see that number unless you're doing a speed test. You'll never reach that number. So sure, you're paying for it, but it's kind of like owning a Lamborghini in California. There's still speed limits. Like you're never going to go above. You'll never
Right.
see that top number.
Right.
But where we really pay off is when you call our number, a human will answer unless it's after hours or the people are on the phone. A human will answer 9 times out of 10, and it's really easy to get a hold of us. And we do a lot of stuff that other providers don't do. So could say that about us, where we may
Well,
not be able to hit that speed that some places offer and can fulfill. They can get you those numbers, but you don't need them. It's unnecessary. But we make up for it in lots of other ways.
all right. So then, basically, to wrap up the small business section of this interview, um, uh, again, Big Red has one more really good question.
Mm.
What's the next 5 years look like for DM Tech, and what's the long term goal for you and the company?
Red, he's got the good questions tonight.
Yeah.
5 years. There's a few towns no, I keep calling them towns. There's a few areas where there's dense housing that are really close, just outside of our coverage area. I would really like to get those in the next 5 years. It would pretty much be like fish in a barrel. Sometimes we've gotten towers and the houses are pretty sparse, so it takes the same number of climbs, the same amount of equipment. So I could, spend a week going up and down towers and deploy $500 in equipment to get 10 customers. But if we can get a really good spot, we can hit 50 homes that are just across the street. So just the return is so much better on deploying a site like that, which we've done. We've gotten lucky quite a few times have done that. So yeah, in the next 5 years, there's a handful of spots that I really want to acquire. I would like to expand our network farther, not so much north. I mean, we'll take it if it's smart. We would take going north, but I would like to go farther south and southeast. And we probably in 5 years will definitely have another few employees. I've been there for almost 10 years, and I would say the five owners and the three hourly, we just now have what I feel like is a complete team. Everyone is great. Everyone gets together, gets along really well. We've had, like I was saying before, we've had people that were cool to be around. They're, funny, nice, whatever, but not good at their job, or vice versa, good at their job, but just didn't fit. But I can say right now, it's taken us that long. That's what I'm getting at. It's taken us this long to have a crew of people that is solid. There's 8 people, and they're all great at what they do, and we all get along really well. We just had an end of year dinner, and it was great. I think we stayed past when they were closed because we were just hanging out, laughing, enjoying each other's company. So it's not like we just put out an ad and hire someone and train them, send them on their way. It's pretty much like a family. So getting people that can do their job, that can do the job, that can interact with customers and not be super awkward, or being technically savvy, good with tools. a good employee and you can interact with customers, that's such a rare human. But I'd like to get a few more of those in the next 5 years, and I imagine we'll need a few more people in the office and just expand our network. Our current network is 95% bulletproof, so I'll sure up that last 5%, and then I want to grow geographically more, like I was saying, farther south to get more of those customers, and then southeast there's a town that it's just grids of homes. So if we could get a tower just on the other side of that canal, it would be probably over 100 customers we could get from that one tower.
Well, contrary to popular belief, there's a lot of rural area in South Jersey here. So, I mean, at one point we were known as the Garden State. So, as horrible of I don't want to wander into these waters.
Doesn't
As
it
horrible as
snow?
a government as it is in New Jersey, we would love to have you. Anyway, let's pivot and move a little bit more into the personal family aspect of Ryan. And
Okay.
that is, from what I understand, you are a recent and proud papa. Is that not accurate?
That is extremely accurate. Yes. My
Yeah.
wife and I had our first son October 12th. You might hear him. He's just at the end of the hall, but I think my wife got the whole bottle into him and he's probably passed out. He had to get his first round of shots today, and I had to look away. I couldn't. I don't know why I couldn't watch. I know it's for the best and he won't remember it, but I just couldn't watch.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. I do know how much pride that you take in that. That's fantastic. Um, how exactly is it that you and I met?
So I followed all four horsemen. I followed them, but I actually reached out to Papa Smurf and just asked him, how do I do this? How do I do that? And he's great. He super friendly. He replied. Um, he still can't have my mug though, so sorry, Eric. And I placed an order with you. I think I ordered a gallon of this, gallon of that. I think that was it. There wasn't any ceramic. Wasn't any ceramic in there. And you sent me an email a few days later saying, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I sent your order to
That's
Bob, and I sent Bob's order to you.
that's
I'll
right. That's right.
refund you or send you. You offered to make it right." And I said, "No, whatever you sent me, bill me for it. I'll use it. It's not like I'm not going to use it or be mad." And then and you said, "No, no, I want to fix it." And I said, "No, I insist. I will use it. Whatever products you have, I will make use of. It's not like you're, sending me doilies and Kleenex. Like you're sending me detailing supplies. You just sent me some other guy's order. No, no biggie. Everyone has their. You probably only had 2 cups of coffee that day instead of 3. It's no big deal." And then I went on your site and I just reordered my original order. I think I ordered 1 extra gallon of something, and I said, give that to someone, because I think the other order that you sent me by mistake, it was a couple 16-ounce bottles, and I thought, man, why are people buying 8 gallon? Get a whole gallon, go big. So I ordered an extra gallon, and you were really happy with how kind I was during that whole exchange, because I could have been. You didn't know. I could have been a total jerk about it and not been as polite as I was.
Yeah. I gotta like, yeah, like that. You just reminded me of all of that stuff, and I mean, uh, calling balls and strikes. That's probably where the beginning of the pay it forward came from. Like, I'm pretty sure you are the inspiration behind the whole thing, and now the cat's out of the bag. You are the inspiration behind the pay it forward. It's been a really really humbling and um, pretty cool adventure to be on with you. It's been fantastic. Um, so that being said, so all of your, from what you were saying, your background is in um, WISP, wireless internet service provider, and then all of a sudden now you're doing detailing, and I've seen your videos and I've seen your pictures, and you're very good at what you do. What got you into the whole detailing? What got you detailing?
I got when I started making adult money, I'll say, like serious money. I could afford. I treated myself to my. I was driving a 2001 Mazda Protege for years. Not hey, if you own a 2001 Mazda Protege, it's a solid car. I got like 400 miles to a tank of gas. I'm not trying to knock anyone that has an older beater car. I wanted a new Dodge Charger. I have a 2018 white Scat Pack, and I would wash it and keep it clean, but I really wanted to get it ceramic coated because I didn't want to get all those swirls, and I know you need to polish it before, and the paint had swirls in it, so I wanted to get the paint fixed and then get it coated. There's only one person here in Chico, where I live, that's certified to do that has a certificate. I can't remember what it's. It's not in System X. I don't remember what exactly he's certified from. But anyway, I reached out to him and I got a quote, and it was like $2,500. It was $1,000 to do the paint enhancement. It's a white car, so it's pretty forgiving, pretty easy to do. And then 1,500 for the ceramic coating, and he said he would do, I think, the face of the wheels and the glass. And I thought, oh my God, $2,500. I have YouTube. I can learn how to do that. I've done it before. I've seen me do it. I'm a YouTube University graduate. So that's when I started watching Papa Smurf, Fab, Brian at Apex, and Phil at Miranda's Detailing. I started watching them religiously. I actually sent Phil an email when I first coated my Charger. I sent him an email with pictures of it, and I said, hey, it was from watching your videos that inspired me to actually. I sat there for probably 30 minutes when I had my polisher, like, oh my God, am I going to turn this on and touch my car and it's going to just go straight to bare metal? That's obviously that's not what happened, but that's, when you've never touched a polisher to a paint, you don't know. But yeah, that was it. I finally got a car that I really like. I reached out to someone to get it coated, and it's astronomical. I'm not paying someone $2,500 to do something I can learn to do myself. So yeah, for months I watched videos on how to do it, on what tools are good, what tools are bad, different methods, what weather you should do it in, like as many aspects that you can think of. I was trying to learn how to do it. Plus, really do genuinely love learning how to do new things, and I would rather do it myself than pay someone, because I could give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he would have done an amazing job, a perfect job, but I still feel like I treated it like my car, so I'm pretty confident I gave it a higher level of care than he would have, having him not being the owner of the car. But maybe not.
Sure.
He's a professional. He could have done maybe he would have done a better job than me, but that's how I learned. Someone gave me a
Sure.
crazy high quote, and I was not going to pay that.
And so now it's progressed to the point where you got basically a side hustle going on. You started your own little uh, uh, detailing company. Details matter. Is that accurate?
Yes, yeah. My wife came up with the name. I love the name. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I was doing it for someone saw my car and they asked, why is it so, like, looks like a mirror and water just comes off? And I told them what I did, and they asked if I could do their car, and I said, yeah, just pay for, the products I'm going to use. I won't charge you. I did one or two or maybe three cars like that, where it was just, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. I'll do it. I'll show you what products I'll use, and then you pay or just, reimburse me for them. And then, those 2 or 3 people that I did, they told 1, 2, 3 people. And then I started getting people texting me, or my friends would say, hey, I'd get a text saying, hey, reach out to my friend or family member, so-and-so, they want you to do X to their car. It just kind of branched out that way, word of mouth. I've really slowed down since having my little Bambino back there, though, because if I get an hour of free time, I could sleep at a bus station right now. That's how tired I am all the time, but not complaining. I love him. I love the little
Sure.
guy, but yeah. Plus, it's for the weather. Like you said, you saw me breathing steam at 3 o'clock my time, so the weather's not awesome. And we don't have a garage in this house. I was not co-owner when my wife and I bought this house, so this was the best we could do at the time. But our next place, I'll definitely have a garage, and ideally by then he'll be able to go longer than 2 hours between having a nuclear meltdown, needing to be fed and changed, and pace the halls with him for 30 minutes to get him to come back down, step off the ledge.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right. So I guess that's kind of a really great place to kind of pivot into the final
Hmm.
segment of what we're here about. Um, the man behind the entire operation of the Pay It Forward campaign. So thank you so much for coming on the show today. We have you and I have talked at length about the entries and the people that have submitted um, nominations for other people and themselves and whatnot. Do you want to go in? You want to save the big nut for the end, or do you want to start at the top and just kind of go to the honorable mentions? I think honorable mentions probably should go first. That'll keep all of you people hanging in here until the very end.
I
Um,
agree. I agree.
while you're at it, go ahead and smash that like button. We got like 21 people in here, 22 people in here, and there's only 18 likes. It's very hurtful. And you know how sensitive I am. So,
Yeah, you four, click that like button. Maybe you'll get one of these cups.
all right. So, I doubt it. I doubt it. You have to be somebody real. Eric, I'm looking at you. You have to be really special to get one of those cups. So, all right. So we have an honorable mention. This person. Um, Now, again, we had a lot of entries, and unfortunately, not everybody could win. And I'm the kind of person I can't. I'm the kind of person that can't wait to no longer be in charge, because I want to give everything to everyone, and somebody needs to tell me no, no, you can't do that, sir. You need to just sit over there on the couch and sign your name on these checks. Oh, okay, I'll do that anyway. But until we get to that point, I am in charge, and I'll give away whatever I want. So, um, this gentleman here, his name is Nathan. He would like to be considered. Just starting to use your products recently. I really love it. Just a little side gig, as I am a stage 4 colon cancer survivor. So detailing cars to make ends meet has as a disability pension just doesn't cover the bills. Thanks again. And his company is the Rowdy Car Shine. So he's going to get a bottle of Titan from us. It's not a lot, but it's hopefully a little something to just kind of to help and we appreciated his submission and his story. Um, we have another honorable mention. Um, what we really liked about this particular nomination was that he wasn't nominating himself, but he was nominating the guy that detailed his car. He was just like, hey, this guy detailed my car and he did a pretty good job. So I'd like to nominate him. So we're going to reach out to Ahmed. Uh, I'm going to not get to mention his last name because I can't. There's a lot of
Be safe.
consonants in there. But anyway, Ahmed's going to get a phone call from us, and he also wins a bottle of Titan for just being a good guy and detailing somebody else's car. Okay, so now this one, the next one is we'll call him a runner-up. Um, his name is Mario, and he writes, "Thank you for making us your family. I would like to be nominated since I haven't been able to do what I like for a while due to an accident. Although I still can't walk well. I can walk by myself now. I don't have a whole lot of money to start now that are going they are going away on medicines and etc. I hope that I can be the winner to be able to start moving forward like the Phoenix and resurface with new motivation, new friends. God bless you. And thank you to all who contributed this gift." This gentleman is going to get the Four Horsemen bundle pack. So he's going to get the Four Horsemen bundle pack. We really like what he had to say. And if we can help him get back on his feet, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Thank you, Mario. This particular nomination, I think Ryan and I really enjoyed this one. This comes to us from a woman who's nominating her husband. Her name is Ellen Schoof. "Hello, I would like to nominate one of the most caring individuals I know for the Pay It Forward contest. My husband, Bernard Butch Schoof, works tirelessly to keep our cars in pristine condition. Just for a little background, he is a retired Wayne County supervisor in the maintenance repair division. His work ethic never decreased upon his retirement in 2009. He still will spend hours in our garage and driveway to make our cars shine like brand new. In fact, my 2016 was recently in the grocery store parking lot and someone mistakenly thought it was a new vehicle. Not only does he take care of our vehicles, but he also takes great pride in detailing our siblings, children, grandchildren, cars, and SUVs. Some weeks he will completely detail 2 or 3 vehicles. He does all this with a smile on his face and never asks for anything in return, except for maybe homemade cookies from our daughters on occasion. If the weather is bad, as sometimes happens in Michigan, he will turn the heater on in his garage and make his magic there. Oh, and by the way, he loves your products, uses them religiously. He has told me all the time how your products are superior in so many ways to others that he has tried. I have to say, our family of cars have superior finishes on them thanks to your products, but just as importantly, to the love and hard work of my husband, Bernard Butch Schoof." So the judges got together about this one, and obviously it's not a hard luck story. It's not a pay it forward story per se. And he's obviously familiar with the Phoenix products, so it's not like we're not advertising for him. So what we decided that we'd like to do for Butch is going to win one of the signature series. Now, I don't know if you remember, but earlier this year I did a tour of the South, and I went around and I got signatures on a lot of the horsemen. Some that I am in close proximity to, like Brian from Apex, Shine On from Brian from Apex, and that's Brian's signature. But then, like, I was able to actually visit with Phil, and while I was down there, I got Phil to sign Bottle. And then for Papa Smurf and Fab, I shipped them out to him, and they signed them and shipped them back. So we have a signature series of Titan and the Four Horsemen bundle pack signed by everybody, to do with as you wish. You can use them, you can put them on your shelf, but definitely I think that was deserving of a signature series win.
Yeah, that's a great submission. Hearing his wife talk about him like that, that's great.
Yeah. All right. So now we are up to third, second, and first place. This is third place. The third place runner up is submitted by a gentleman known as KS or Kyle. Um, that worthy person would be my son Jeff. Now, this story, before I get into the meat and potatoes, this story is a pay it forward story. I love it, and that's why he came in third place. I think that this story is the heart of what this campaign was all about. That worthy person would be my son Jeff. He is 52 years old and has worked his entire life and has worked hard his entire life. This past September, we met at the Corvette Museum in Bowling Greens, Kentucky. After a few days of touring the museum and admiring hundreds of Corvettes, we decided to visit the gift shop before we left. Jeff piled up half the store and was ready to check out. A lady in the line ahead of us said, "You go ahead, I can't find my cash." She had lost over $100 somewhere in the museum. The unfortunate lady then went to the main desk to see if anyone had turned it in, but returned in a few minutes, still dejected. Jeff quietly told the cashier to put all of her gifts on his bill. He didn't even look to see what she had or how much it cost. Somewhat startled by his generosity, the lady started crying, and that is my son. Jeff is not needy, but is not needy at all, but would enjoy the car care kit to maintain his beautiful red C6 Corvette. And don't worry, he'll keep paying it forward. That story was fantastic. It spoke to me really, really hard. I was probably maybe 1 or 2 years into my previous job, and I was at the grocery store, and it was late at night, and I was at a grocery store, and I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I went through. I deposited my check, and then I went to the grocery store and got my groceries, and it was a Friday night, and I go through the checkout, and I go to swipe my card, and it's declined. And I'm embarrassed. There's people behind me. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, I just deposited the check. The money's there. I don't understand why it's, obviously it took, several days to clear. I didn't realize all of that. And the lady behind me, she says, "I just won the lottery 2 days ago. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about any of this. I'll take care of it." And that story has stuck with me for forever, and it will always be a pay it forward moment for me forever. So the fact that that gentleman Jeff did that for that woman. So what he's going to get is he's going to get the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink is basically all the products from Phoenix E.O.D, and I think I have a bottle of Immortal around here somewhere that he's getting as well. I put it around here somewhere. Anyway, so it's in there. So he gets a bottle of Immortal, gets a bottle of Titan, gets a bottle of the Hydra, bottle of the Kraken, and of course the Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen. Yes, sir. Yeah. That is a worthy pay it forward moment. I think he's going to do great stuff with it. And as long as he continues to pay it forward, that's a win. All right.
And a bottle of Immortal. That's very nice.
Yeah.
That Immortal's pretty amazing.
I agree, Clifford. I agree. This is a family. This has been since I've gotten involved, and this is back at the old job. This is a family. Mark Kelly in the house. Good to see you, sir. All right, we're up to second place, and this is a good story. It's a good story. It's a hard story. All right. Hello. I would like to nominate. I would like to nominate myself for this amazing opportunity. Detailing has become integral to my life over the last few years. It has helped me pay for my schooling and has helped my wife and I get through so much. I went to university where I received 2 bachelor degrees, and throughout my time, In Santa Cruz, I would detail vehicles on the weekends to help pay for books and other supplies. I would use polishers from Harbor Freight and any other cheap products I could find from AutoZone. I quickly realized how much I enjoyed detailing. It felt like fun and not a job. After graduating, I applied for a physician's assistant program and I did not get accepted. So I took a cheap DA polisher and my products and made the best of my situation. I applied to nursing school a few months later and I did get accepted. It was then time for me to put down my tools and focus on school 100% um, through the pandemic. I recently graduated and I can say that I have 3 bachelor degrees at the age of 26. However, I cannot say that I am working as a nurse. There are few to no opportunities in my area due to lack of experience as working as a nurse. I'm a new graduate, and most places want at least 6 months to 1 year of experience as a nurse. But how am I supposed to get that experience if no one wants to hire me as a new graduate? So this time has come again to detail in order to pay off my student loans. This opportunity would greatly impact my life. Regardless of the outcome, thank you to everyone at Phoenix E.O.D. and happy holidays. Warmly, Fernando. And Fernando, this story was a fantastic story, and I think it has, out of all of the entries, I think this has the potential to be the biggest pay it forward opportunity because you are going to be successful and you are going to get a job as a nurse and you are eventually going to get a job as a PA and you're going to be able to write your own, your own destiny. Um, Never forget this moment. Never forget this opportunity that Ryan has presented to you. Um, and make sure you pay it forward. This is a pay it forward moment, and that's why you're nominated in second place. And Ryan's going to tell you a little bit more about the second place winner. But the second place winner gets this Griot's Garage polisher and the kit that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to tell them a little bit about this polisher, Ryan, go right ahead.
Yeah, I only used it. A few times. Well, first of all, great entry. 3 degrees at that age. That's amazing. Aaron's right. You're going to whatever you put your mind to do in the future. You're going to succeed at it with that kind of tenacity that you have. But yeah, that's everything's included in that bag. It still has the warranty. I think it's only maybe 6 months old, 7 months old. I didn't use it that much. It's very powerful. I'm guessing you have the Bauer from Harbor Freight, the 6 inch. So this would be a great complement to that to get around the handles and the smaller areas. But it comes with a 3 inch, 2 inch, and 1 inch backing plate. The cord has a very long cord. If you do get a little bit ahead on money, I would recommend getting like the G9 or another Griot's Garage because the cord you can unplug the actual unit and then plug the cord into whatever. It's interchangeable, but yeah, it's very powerful. So hopefully you know how to use a rotary. It's not a DA. I'm pretty sure it's not a DA. I might be misremembering. I apologize.
And it comes with these pads as well. It comes with these pads, and it comes with the Titan and the Four Horsemen. Titan and the Four Horsemen. These pads, this polisher, the backing plates inside the bag, and everything that you're going to need to do what you got to do. All right. So that's second place. Now, first place. First place. I don't have something to read. I don't have an entry to read. It was actually nominated by um, a very close friend and mentor to me, and it made sense. And when I presented it to the judges, they unanimously agreed that this person is deserving of, um, well, deserving of first place. This gentleman he's been a good friend to this entire community. I think everybody knows who he is. And recently his father passed away, and he was the sole caregiver of his father. Um, he is he is disabled himself, so he was a disabled man giving care to his father, and his father finally passed a week before Christmas. And the beautiful thing about this man, and I've never met him, but I've had many conversations with him. The beautiful thing about this man is, as long as I've known him, and I've known him from the old company, um, he works with the community, and he uh, donates his time, um, and his talent as a detailer to the community to help underprivileged kids and teach them a trade to help keep them off the streets. And I can't think of anything greater in this universe as far as paying it forward than teaching our children and teaching the youth in our community a better way than violence, a better way than drugs, a better way than just living as a soulless person on the planet. And therefore it's been a real humbling experience to get to know Richard Seam. Um, I've never, like I said, I've never met the man, but I can tell you that his soul is beautiful, and he pays it forward. He's paid it forward as long as I've known him, and so for that, um, Richard Seam is the grand prize winner of the Pay It Forward campaign of 2022. I'm so glad that he was nominated. And again, he was not nominated from any of the judges. This was an outside person that came to me and said, "Hey, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you should probably pay attention to Richard Seam. And here's the story." And so, with that, I'd like to tell you that, Richard, we're going to send you everything that you possibly could need to start teaching the next generation what it takes to be a detailer. Ryan, I'd like you to tell them a little bit more about this special prize behind door number one. Full set of pads, everything that you need here. And then you got this monstrosity of a machine. Go ahead and tell them all about that.
And it's the Gen 2 cordless SPTA. It comes with a 5-inch and a 6-inch backing plate, depending on how big of pads you want to use. And it has 3 Makita batteries. The batteries that came with it lasted 15 minutes tops. So it has 3 really nice Makita batteries. Each battery came with a charger, so I didn't want to spend money on a 2 or 3 plug charger. So you're gonna just have 2 batteries charging at all times. And I also changed the grease in it too to a really nice lithium grease. It did make a difference. It's much quieter now, and it didn't really get hot before, but it doesn't even get warm now, and it's much quieter now. But that machine has lots of hours on it. It's brushless, so you don't worry about changing the brushes, but that's a solid polisher. It's a great polisher.
But that's not all. We also have this puppy that's going with it.
That's right. Yeah, we just talked yesterday. I already forgot. So that's the mini, the 3-inch that complements that. That one is random orbit dual action as well, since we thought that since you're teaching people that don't have any level of experience, you probably wouldn't want to be using a rotary. So yeah, the same brand SBTA 3-inch. That one's brand. I've never used that specific one. I've used that model before. I had one. It's great. I used it a lot, but I didn't use that one. That one is brand new, right out of the bag. It's never been used. It's great. That one is solid, very powerful.
And of course, that also comes with the Titan and the 4 Horsemen. So I think that's everything except for one last thing. So now on the selfish side of life, which is the exact opposite of the pay it forward. I'd like to, since this is the end of the year, it's December 28th. We got 4 days left of 2022. Something else that I'd like to start doing um, annually is we have to have a Phoenix MVP award. Um, it's really, really, really awesome that it worked out this way. Again, everything that I have done from the beginning of Phoenix E.O.D. till now has really felt like destiny. Everything has fallen in place exactly the way it's supposed to fall in place. The people that have come into my life that have helped me move forward, um, like it only by the grace of God go I. You know that old adage. Literally, have I've been blessed in this ride, and the fact that you are here tonight, Ryan, um, as my guest on the third episode of the Curmudgeon Corner. As far as the Phoenix MVP is concerned, now distributors are automatically disqualified because they buy a crap ton of stuff in bulk. But the person that has supported Phoenix E.O.D. the most this year, and you were late. You were late to the show, sir. You were late to the show. You have supported Phoenix EOD the absolute most. I have the numbers in front of me. I'm not going to reveal it over the air, especially in earshot of your wife, of how much you have spent on
Thank you.
Phoenix EOD. But because you are the MVP of Phoenix EOD, the biggest supporter monetarily wise, I mean, honestly, can anybody here say that Nacho Man is not the biggest supporter of Phoenix EOD? He's willing to fight people in the pit over Phoenix EOD. Anyway, you, sir, are also a winner of a signature series. This is the second signature series of Phoenix products from
Yeah,
um, all of the horsemen and myself.
cool,
And
cool.
you also get an extremely rare limited edition coaster set signed by all of the horsemen themselves.
Oh,
And I
that's
picked out the very best ones. By the way, Hoof, are you still in the house? If Hoof is still in the house, Hoof is the guy that makes these. He is a maestro, absolutely amazing of the work that he does. But we got all of these, so you got an entire coaster set signed by the Horsemen, and that's not all. I don't know how to open this up. You have a set of decals also signed by the Horsemen.
that's awesome. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. I
I
really appreciate
I
it.
didn't do anything. I
That
didn't do
made
anything. You did it. You
waiting
did
for
it.
those
Like
coasters. So I remember I ordered the coasters and you said, hold on, let's
yeah.
don't order coasters just yet. But that is so worth waiting for the coasters. Yeah, that's great. And if any of the horsemen are in here, thank you for signing those. That's great. Nice, nice. I really appreciate that, Aaron. Thank you. I'm not going to
Well, we
stick
really
those on any.
appreciate you as the MVP of Phoenix, and single handedly keeping the doors open for us. We are so grateful to you from the bottom of our hearts. That it's our pleasure to give these to you. Now, I do have to disclaimer here. Since this project was started in the beginning of the year, unfortunately, the signature series includes version one of both Papa Cut and Apex Auto Wash. Now, they're still phenomenal products, in my
Mhm.
opinion. If it wasn't for paying the organizer, um, you know, calling me out on the floor, I would have still kept with this Apex Auto Wash because I think it's a phenomenal soap. But I can't do number two. I can't. I can't.
Mm,
So, um,
I'll make
anyway,
do, I suppose.
unfortunately, they're the first versions of all of those products. But I think it's still. Um, I salute you. Thank you,
I really
Ryan. Thank you.
appreciate that. Thank you. That's great.
Thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for um, funding the Pay It Forward campaign of 2022. I can't wait to see what 2023 has in store. I've already checked out the spaces and stuff like that for the Southern Detailers Convention in Kentucky in June. So I'm hoping to get all the four horse. They've already all agreed. all the horsemen have agreed to come on down. So I just have to make arrangements to get them down, and we'll all be at a booth, hopefully drinking apple juice and saying hello to everybody and anybody that walks by.
Great, great. It'll be fun, I'm sure. And really, thank you for all. You didn't have to do any of that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's really cool.
Not at all, sir. Not at all. We really appreciate you. So, um, we're rolling up on an hour and 20 minutes. I know that you do have a wee one in the background. So I think this is about it. I will make sure that we get these products to these people. And wait, can you set up on a? Yeah, Corey. I think that's an awesome idea. I can't believe I almost missed that. I think that's a fantastic idea. Why don't we? I'll talk to my IT guy tomorrow, and we'll get started for the 2023 campaign, and we'll make this a worldwide event of paying it forward. Just people taking care of other people. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I don't. As long as I have the ability, I usually put a decal in every single package that is sent out to that people order from me, because I was having a conversation with my neighbor, and there's a million chemical companies out there, and they're all trying to say that they're the best of the best of the best, and so when somebody has the faith to buy my product, invest in investment into my company, when they invest in my company, they have their hard-earned money, and it's getting harder and harder every day to earn that money, and they're willing to have that faith to put it in my company. I try to thank them every single time, and that's a handwritten note on the back of the decal that says thank you for your support, because you could have spent that dollar anywhere, but you chose to spend it on me. And I think that the Pay It Forward campaign is the embodiment of what we are as Phoenix. I think that we are all in this together, and that you have, faith in me to give you the best that I have. And that needs to be rewarded. That needs to be rewarded by, doing events like this, and just, giving you my best in customer service, giving you my best in products, giving you the best that I am. And I'll do it until I'm dead. So anyway, not to get too overly sappy, I just want to say thanks to everybody that's here in the chat, everybody that participated in the Pay It Forward campaign. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you to my horsemen. This is the Oscars, right? Thank you to my CMO, and thank you to my mom and dad for giving me pay. Blah, blah, blah. No. Anyway, hey, Hoof, thanks for the coasters, man. They're beautiful. Happy New Year. Anyway, everybody, thank you for coming out. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and any of the other ones that I'm forgetting. And Happy New Year. 2023 is going to be a blessing to all of us. Uh-oh. There he is. Oh, you were gone for a second.
Someone was calling in, but terrible timing. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I was like, oh, what happened? All right. Everybody, Miller Detailing, thank you. Everybody that's out there. Aaron, I'm serious. Check my message. All right, I will. I will. Big Red. Everybody, feel free to text me after the program. We'll work it all out. And I said I'm going to get my IT guy on it tomorrow to figure out a way to do an internal GoFundMe page, I guess, basically how it's going to work. I don't know. All right.
That's a great idea.
Everybody, Happy New Year. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. So, Ryan, be well.
Thank you. Have a good night, you guys. Bye, Aaron. I'll talk to you when I talk to you.
All right, sir.